Welcome back to the Kimi Kato show. We just went out with Home and came back with Still Loving You. So we have Chris Hart on our show. Can you tell us a bit about Home and Still Loving You?
Yes, so Home is the song that I debuted with. To kind of go into what my debut was, I've been doing a lot of music in Japan, some kind of commercial work and stuff like that. But when I was on the show, Notojima in the World, I sang Home on that show. And immediately after the show broadcasted, Home went on to number one on all the digital charts, which was unseen before, from that TV show or any other music show before. So that was a light a chance that Universal Music had seen. They had saw that action. They thought, okay, well now we're seeing chart action related to him singing. Let's see if we can get him a debut. So that became my debut single. And then Still Loving You is actually, my original song, I Love You, was became a little bit of a hit. So we decided to make a sequel to that song, which is Still Loving You, which is a continuation of that story. You can actually see there are short movies for both of those. I Love You and Still Loving You online on YouTube.
Wonderful. How did you get a chance to get on the Nodojima?
Again, rare chance. Nothing planned, nothing orchestrated, just dropping seeds and having them bloom. So when I got to Japan, my initial thing was I'm now living in Japan. That was the entire goal. I'll do music as a hobby. If I can get beyond that, that'd be great. But it's not the priority. My priority is keeping my visa and staying in Japan. I had just happened to see an audition for a show for on Tokyo MX. And they're like, just come on the TV show and do your talent. And I said, I can sing. So I went on that, and a voice trainer had seen the show and contacted me. So I started doing voice training in Japan in Japanese, and that started me off to try and practice my songs online. So this is pre-YouTuber age. This is not like everyone's online putting up covers, becoming big stars. So I would just put my covers and my original songs on YouTube to get feedback from Japanese listeners on what I should improve. And the staff from Nitere, from Notojiman's World, saw one of my videos and contacted me and asked me to be on the show. So that was a
Wow.
very
So,
random thing.
Nodojiman's World is, it's a terrestrial TV show, so it's
Yeah,
nationwide TV show, right? So
right.
you got yourself onto a nationwide TV show for amateurs, right?
Yeah, it was mostly it's not even really an audition show as much as it's a showcase of non-Japanese people singing Japanese songs. So there were some pros, some semi-pros, and some
Right.
amateurs.
Okay,
And the
right,
goal is just to show your passion for Japan and Japanese music.
right.
I didn't know it was a competition. Our conversations never got that far. So they're like,
Right.
they kind of told me you might sing two songs, you might sing one. So I
Okay,
didn't go into the competition like, oh, I'm gonna definitely win. Like it was
right.
kind of like I'm just gonna go on and sing a song I like. I mean, I'm probably not gonna win, so who cares? I'm just gonna have fun. But I sang. The show was hosted by Nakai-san from SMAP,
Mm-hmm.
so very popular idol band or
Mm-hmm.
model group from that time. So they had me sing one of their group songs, which was Yozora no Muko, and that got I think out of 400 points, it got 399 points,
That's
which I did.
where did
Again, I didn't have any idea about that.
incredible. That's almost full marks.
Yes, that was kind of like the first thing. Like people like, oh, what's going on with Chris Hart? Then I did another song, and that kind of took off a little bit more. And then the second time I appeared on that show was when I sang Home, but it was
Right.
very, very, very random, unexpected. I did not expect that show to be such a major bridge in my career because
Mm-hmm.
that show was exactly what led to Jeff Miyata.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff was trying to record a show, I believe, for a different artist at the time, and mixed it up and recorded that show on accident.
Mm.
And
Wow.
then when he saw it, he contacted me, and we
Yeah.
we started talking about what we would do together.
So we heard from Jeff about his first encounter with you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your side of the story of your first encounter with Jeff Miyahara?
Yeah, so Jeff sent me a message, I believe through YouTube, because I think you could still direct message at that time. And he asked if we could meet up at a restaurant and just talk about what I'm doing and what my ideas were. And I had known of Jeff's work. I believe the voice trainer that I'd worked with had worked with some of his artists before. And I had seen his chart, his songs on the charts all the time. So we talked and we talked about, like what was my goals and what were the things that I was doing. And he was just, a very warm, inviting presence. He was very like of the mindset that if we did do something together, it would be based on what fits me rather than just kind of like creating some kind of like, super pop image or anything like that. So I felt very at ease talking with him. And when we decided that, we would try to do something together, he then kind of went out of his way to really try and find different places that might be a good home for me. So we looked at different, kind of labels and different management situations. All of that was, really Jeff. He, spearheaded all of that to kind of make sure that I ended up in a place where I was safe and taken care of. So it was an amazing thing to be Jeff. And Jeff was really, because he was of a similar kind of experience of being, from the States going into the Japan market, having that kind of like mindset about both Japanese norms and then also things that are not normal to Japan, and being able to fuse those things in a new way, I think was a major influence throughout the process of just, from talking to him, finding labels, and then releasing music, because we always had a mindset of let's not do the most common thing possible. Let's do something new. So it was an amazing influence for me.
You know, Jeff told me or told us that he decided to sign you, or he decided that he really wanted to work with you when you met him at the restaurant,
Yeah.
waiting
Yeah.
for the restaurant to open, because it
Yeah.
was before it opened and it was cold outside, and some of
Yeah.
the staff from the restaurant gave you a couple of blankets
Yeah. They gave us
to wear.
blankets. Yeah.
When the store opened and you guys walked in, and Jeff walked in first, Jeff looked back and he saw you folding the blankets, and that was the moment.
Yeah.
He said that was
Yeah.
it. Like, you were folding the blankets that they gave you, and you were
Yeah.
you returning the blankets to the staff folded. I mean, how did you?
That didn't seem like anything particular to me. I heard about that later on. Um, I, I would think that was something that I would have done in the States either way too, and just something that I probably got used to doing during my time in Japan. But it seemed like a very natural thing. They'd given us the blankets. It was time to go inside, and you don't want to just leave things on the floor and just like
Of course
somebody
not.
pick this up. So
But
it
he
seemed
did.
like a very natural thing to me. No, his was on the
Yeah.
chair, and his was on the chair, and it was clean. It was not like just like draped over something.
Right.
But we had two, so I put them in the same place, and that was it. I don't I don't know why that stuck out to him so much, but
Well,
it was a natural thing.
Kimmy, I'm so glad you asked that question, because since our conversation with Jeff and he told us both that story, when I think of Chris, I think of that story instantly. And I was going to ask the question if you did it, so I'm so glad you did. But Chris,
No, sorry, I asked the question first. I
no,
should have let you ask the
you actually
question.
I thought it was coffee cups. I forgot it was folding blankets, so I had it wrong anyway. You had it right. But I've thought about, you've intrigued me, Chris. Since then, I'm in the hospitality business most of my life, so it's those little details of almost humanity and compassion and respect, and that said everything to Jeff. I think about you. It said all of those things. It said not only are you talented and that's why you're here, but with him, but you have, you take care of people around you, it sounds like. And is that part of your success? Do you think that you are, it sounds like it's just natural for you. That's who you are. It's not something you try to be, but do you think
I
that helps in
think
the business and how this
I don't
helped
know
you?
if it's I don't know if it's the reason that we had the success we had. I think I would definitely owe that to a lot of people's hard work, but I think it's the reason why I was never surrounded by bad people. But I think I was always surrounded with
Interesting.
people who were caring and who were trying to do the best within their capacity. So I'm very grateful for that. I don't know. You don't know what kindness leads to, but it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt to do it. So so I
Right.
What
think
did
that's
you
just the
think,
general
Kimmy,
rule.
about that? We've never
Well,
talked about this
no, I
because it
think
impressed you all. Obviously, you remembered the story as well.
to become a star, obviously you need everything. You need talent, you need luck, you need all the support from the team. But it, I think at the end of the day, it all boils down to who you are. And for all the team to want to support you, it's a team that you want to work for and you want to work
Right.
with. And that is why Jeff, because he knew your talent already on the TV, he knew what you can do. All he needed to find out was who you are. as a person.
Right,
And
right. And I think that was a
that
big
was
thing.
it.
I think that's why he chose the people he chose to be my team. Because we met a lot of different people, and it wasn't that there was anything that was bad about any particular person or anything like that. But I think he knew that like these are the people that are going to take care of Chris in the way that Chris needs to be taken care of.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
I am
mhm,
eternally grateful for that because I
mhm.
always had a very family-like, loving team.
So there it is. To be a successful star, I think it starts from you, and then your talent, and then everything comes to you, you know? I think
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
it is.
And don't you
And
feel
then
like,
luck comes to you too. That's how it all works, I think.
mhm. Well, your fans feel that. They feel you're genuine, right?
Definitely.
They feel
I hope so.
they feel your humanity, and
Yeah, no,
you
yeah, I
appeal
don't,
to them and relate
yeah,
to them. That's
yeah,
that's what I.
you don't have to fold every fan's blankets, but
Would be too
I
bad.
think but having,
That'd be
yeah,
nice.
we can do that for you. But I think that initial it's you without thinking, you do this heartful thing or compassionate, being respectful is the very beginning to becoming a star. And I think every star that continues to be successful is people that care about people.
Yeah, I think
Ultimately.
at least in my experience, what I found is that the career is long if you're lucky, and if it's long, you want to be able to maintain your humanity throughout it, and not just be a product, and not be surrounded by people who will treat you like a product. So I think, yeah, just being yourself, whoever that may be, is the best way to surround yourself with the people that fit you. Definitely.
Wonderful. We are going to take another quick break. Please don't go away. We'll be right back. You are listening to the Kimi Kato Show with Chris Hart.